All right, Kendra, now we're going to take a look at your freestyle from the underwater view and the side view underwater. And when you're looking at your freestyle, you do a lot of really good things. Your body position, head position, and your kick are all really good. The thing to improve upon is how you're catching water. And we kind of talked about on the overview how you're dropping the elbow. And you can really see it here as your left arm's coming in the water. You can see how that arm is bent up. So your hand is here. Let me get that off real quick. Your hand is here to the elbow, to the wrist, sorry, and then your wrist to the elbow is down like this, and then you're back straight to the shoulder. So you can just see how you're trying to create a catch. This is only going to push you, when you push that hand, you're going to be pushing straight down, and the energy is going to push you straight up. Okay? So when we catch water, we don't want to be pulling so that our hand pushes us up. We want to be pulling so that the hand is here, okay, and then the elbow is here, and then the shoulder is up here, so that you're creating more of a catch that's going to grab water and pull it back behind you. So that energy is going to be pushing you straight ahead. So you're kind of, with that late hand entry, in a position where your energy is going the wrong direction. So I'm going to erase that off, and we can just see as the hand advances how that elbow drops down. And really, if you really want to see where you catch water, you don't really start catching the water till here. So you're about 2 feet underwater in terms of your arm entering the water. It's 2 feet underwater before you start catching water with your hand and your forearm. And that's a lot of wasted space. Good coaches will tell you that that first 6 inches into your catch is the most efficient part of your pull. So you're missing that with the way that you're entering the water. As we watch the right hand, it's a little different than the left side, but the same kind of things happen. On this hand, you have a lot of air bubbles, so they're all around the hand. And as you kind of continue to pull, you can just see how much of that air is still on your arm and still on your hand. Now, when air is surrounding your hand and your arm like this, it reduces your ability to catch water. So right now your hand is pulling air and it's not really making good contact with the water, and that's going to diminish that catch power also. So, and then as we come forward, you can just see that air is still in the hand all the way until about right here, and you can just see all those bubbles. So entering with the fingertips down and that elbow high is going to create a cleaner entry, and you're going to remove those air bubbles earlier in your catch. Now, you don't have them on your left side because you're bending that wrist so much, and they're cleared off by the way you're entering the water. But again, you know, when we're teaching people to swim freestyle, we talk about hand entry, and you want to have your shoulder above your elbow and your elbow above your wrist and your wrist above your hand in terms of how you're catching water. And you're kind of the opposite, okay? Your hand should be the low point up to your wrist, wrist to elbow, and elbow to shoulder should be more like this. And you can see how you're a good 12 inches above that drawing with your hand right now going into your catch. So creating a late catch, but the elbow is actually dropping, and it should be high. When we talk about freestyle, we talk about high elbow, and this would be the opposite of the high elbow. It would be a low elbow in terms of leading with your elbow when you really want to be leading with your fingertips into your catch. And then as you come forward, you just see again the air on the hands as you're coming through. Nice low breath. Body position is in a great position, but You can just see here how you're entering the water. You got the fingertips there, but the wrist is gone. It's above the water level right now. And then you're coming down to your elbow. So where this should look like your elbow at the high point and your forearm and hand are in the water, you're kind of the opposite because you're bending that wrist, but that's because the elbow's dropping into the water first. And we want the elbow to actually enter the water last, or right with the shoulder as you're driving into the water. And again, you can just see how that really kind of inhibits your catch. Hand has trouble getting to that catch early, and we want early access to the fingertips and the hand and the forearm with a high elbow. And you can just see your elbow's flat at best here. What I really want to see is, as you get to this point, the hands here, is your hands here, but I'd rather see it kind of where your hand is more here, and then to your elbow is like this, and then back to your shoulder, so that you're creating that high elbow into your catch. And if we take those off as we're going forward, but good head position, good eye position, and good strong kick. You're doing all those things very well. And just moving forward, that you have a nice line. Head is very still. Eyes are looking forward. You know, maybe a little high, but it's right on where you want to be. And again, just you can see that elbow lower than the wrist again on the right side. You can see the air bubbles that you're carrying from the hand and your catch. And we can clear all that just by having a high elbow entry and entering with fingertips and forearm ahead of the elbow and not entering first with the elbow. Here you can get a good view. Your elbow's in the water, and you can see there's your hand and is just above the surface of the water, but there's nothing really in except for maybe your fingertips. But you have your whole elbow in the water, and the rest of your arm is above the water somewhere at the entry. And then as we move forward, we're going to move forward into the turn. And you can see pulling with those hands, palm down. Is that palm down or back of the hand? No, you're pulling with the back of the hand. So we really want to turn those hands over. That's going to create a lot more power, and then you're going to be able to bend those elbows a little bit more. But I can see this is the back of your hand. You're trying to pull with the back of your hands. And we really want to turn those hands palm towards the bottom. So right now your palms are facing towards the surface. We want to flip that around so your palms are facing down. So that creates at least double the pull power to get your hips over in the turn from your arms. So if you turn the hands over, you'll have more of a bend, so that it'll go up to the elbow here, and you'll be here with the hands, and the hand will be here, so it'll be pulling you over into that turn from the palms of the hands. So we'll talk about that. I'll talk to you about that, but I'd rather see those turned over and just get a little closer to the wall. You can see how you're a little more open here on the turn, and it brings your feet down on the wall a little bit more. We want your feet up nice and high as they hit the wall, so that your body line is a little bit deeper coming off the wall, so you have a little bit of a deeper push off. And you just see you're further away, so your foot's down here into the knee, and your line is a lot straighter coming off the wall. And that will keep you a little more shallow coming off the wall. In sprint events, water's coming in and it's moving behind you, so the more shallow you are, the more drag you're going to incur coming off the wall. And then you push off, and you can just see you're just somewhat shallow coming off the wall. Nice tight streamline though. I love your streamline on the backside of the head. Good body line, and really good dolphin kicks. You're really snapping your dolphin kicks as you come off the wall. So I'm really liking that. Really like how you approach that into the breakout stroke. Again, the big thing that we want to work on in your freestyle is just getting more out of your catch and putting your hands in the water in the right position with high elbows so you can grab that water earlier in your catch instead of the late part where you're grabbing the water, and keep those air bubbles off the hand on the right side. And that's going to help your freestyle be much faster, much more powerful up front.